Hey guys, what's going on? All right, today I'm going to go over a quick little scope installation. Okay, so it's mounting your scope to your rifle, particularly an AR-15 style type of rifle. Okay, I've got a Vortex Crossfire that came in today, Crossfire II. I don't know if that'll show up or not. And then I got some 1-inch UTG high quick release mounts. Okay. One thing to note when you're putting an optic on an AR-15 that has rails like this, you want your scope rings to be on your upper receiver only. You don't want them to be one on the upper receiver, one on your rail, because there can be some torquing. If anything comes loose, you're going to lose your zero, and it's not good for the scope overall. So what I like to do, if possible, is to mount my forward ring as far forward on the upper receiver as I can and push it. So you can see there's a little bit of play right there. You want to push it all the way to the front, okay? And then you can lock that down. You know, we can come back later and get that, but this is just for setting it up, okay? And then you kind of want to do the same thing with your scope. You want to mount it. My understanding of it and how it's worked for me on some of my guns, some of them I haven't done this yet because they were mounted a long time ago, but you mount it forward the same way you did on the rail as you do with this where your turrets are here. You kind of push it forward, okay? It also depends on your eye relief and stuff back here, but you're going to want to make sure that's forward. And then we're going to put this on the back, not necessarily as far back as you can, but I don't like to put my scope mounts or my scope rings side by side. That's just my preference. So I put it as far back that I can go in the magnification wheel still be able to spin. Okay, so we'll put that guy down there. Now that we have him kind of set the rings where we want them to be, we're going to go ahead and make sure everything is level. I have a wheeler. This is indispensable if you're going to be mounting scopes. You get some scope mount or scope levelers. Really, it's just two sets of levels. Okay, so you're going to put one on your scope and the other one. This is made for a bolt action gun, but a level is a level, so you want it to, well, see how we can do this. You can't really see very well at all, but you want them to both be the exact same. Now I have my gun in a vise sitting on here, so I can't adjust it very well. But really, if you have them both, it's pretty much centered. As long as your bubbles are in the same place, even if they're not both perfectly level, but they're the bubbles at the same spot, if you know what I'm saying. I hope you know what I'm saying. Then you'll generally be fine. You'll be fine. And I do not do like long range precision work, so there may be more technical things that you can do or should do that I am not doing. So please don't sacrifice me to the wolves for not doing that, because I'm not an expert on this. I'm just explaining what I do, okay? You can put your scope tops on. And I like to use, the rings came with the little Allen wrenches and they work just fine, but I like to use, this is a T15, the Torx, which works fine. These are not exactly Torx screws, so be careful you don't want to strip things out. Because I didn't have the hex version of it, but I like to use this. You get a little bit better grip on it. Okay, and obviously when you're mounting scopes, when you're putting things on guns that have recoil, you want to use a little bit of Loctite. You don't want to lock these things down so hard you'll never get it off. I like to use a little bit of Loctite. And in general, what I will do, these scope rings come with, it has six screws on the forward and the aft rings. All right, so it's a lot of screws, but in general what I will do is I will put 2 in each one to get it set. That way I don't have to be unscrewing and screwing in 6 of them, or 12 of them really. You know, if I need to make some minor adjustments. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Sometimes I'm talking and I don't make much sense, and I should just do work instead of talking. Yeah. See, like that probably didn't even make any sense. Anyway, sorry. Okay, so with these, what I like to do is I like to get it just snug enough to where you can tell it's getting some tension, because what that's going to do is that's going to allow me to still rotate my scope, okay, but it's not going to, you know, it's not going to be binding up to where I'm having to loosen things up too much. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that it is level again, that these both are set where they need to be. They look pretty good to me. And then I will tighten a little bit on one side, tighten a little bit on the other, because what these will end up doing is if you tighten down one side, it's going to rotate. It's going to grab that side and pull it down, and you're going to mess it all up. So you got to do little bit by little bit. That is how it's worked best for me. Okay? So really, as long as that bubble doesn't move on the top, then I should be good. Keep that bubble on the top centered, and we should be fine. Now, I wish I had a good angle where I could actually show you that this bubble moves when you tighten these down. Okay. Now these are, I'm sure, supposed to be torqued down to a specific torque, but I do not have a Torx wrench that small, so I just do it by hand. And like I said, I use Loctite, and there are 12 screws holding this whole thing in, so I don't see it going anywhere in the near future. So you just want to put a little bit of Loctite. Something like that. That probably looks like a lot, and the light's really bright, but you don't want to drown it, but you do want it to have some bite. And these are really very simple. You have different kinds, different scope mounts, do different things. Like I said, these are quick detach. You can obviously get ones that are not quick detach, and if you're doing it for a, you know, if you're doing it for primarily like a marksman kind of rifle kind of thing, probably don't even need quick detach, because you're probably not going to be taking your scope off. Okay, this is kind of a poor man's Mark 12 kind of build, and they have quick detach mounts on those rifles, so I put it on this rifle. I've also got other rifles that have the one-piece mounts, and those are great. I probably would have done that for this, except this is supposed to be a semi-clone, although by definition I don't think there's anything clone correct on this gun at all. But it's my gun, so I have free will to do what I want to do with it, because it's America. That's right. Alright, so with these, I'm basically just getting these tightened down just snug, and then I will go back and make sure everything is torqued right. Basically the same way that you're going to do when you change out your tire. Hopefully y'all know how to change out your tires. You don't just go straight around in a circle. You want to torque down one side and the other side. That's the way I've done it. Like I said, I could be wrong, but this has served me well. I've never had scopes come undone for me. So I'm going to watch my bubble and make sure it doesn't go anywhere it's not supposed to. Oops. And this is why using a screwdriver with that attachment on it, I feel, is a lot easier than using your Torx wrench. I don't know. Could just be me. Oops, not that one. This is really a very simple thing. I'm sure a lot of y'all have done it, but maybe somebody hasn't. Maybe I'm doing it differently than they've done it. We all have different opinions on stuff. And you just tighten a little bit at a time, because as you tighten, I wish you could see it. I wish you could. But as you tighten them down in like a star pattern-ish, the other side will get loose or tight, just depending on how it goes. So that's why you just do a little bit at a time, and they will all tighten down equally until you get them all down to a good snug fit, and then the Loctite should take care of the rest of it and keep them from backing out. Okay, so the front's done. And looks like the rear's done. And that looks to be level. looks to be level enough for me. I'll get it out to the range. And like I said in my other last video I did, I should, Lord willing, be going to the range this Saturday. Hopefully. Let's really hope that works out. And then I'll be able to test out some of these guns. I got too many to just do it all out there the first day, so from what I understand, I will be able to go back to that range and continue to do some shooting and testing and stuff like that. So these videos should change a little bit. I hope that was helpful for y'all. Now that you have it on there, with the scope, with the quick detach, you can adjust them, okay, by, you take it out, and really these are set just fine. You want to be able to adjust, you want to be able to take it on and take it off with one hand. You don't want to have to use any kind of tools to take them apart, okay? But if you do need to tighten it up, like this one can stand to be tightened up a little bit, you just unscrew it, and with the provided Allen wrench, you just screw it in a little bit, and there you go, and it locks in just fine. And that is as solid as you want to, as you're gonna need to be. Okay. Well, there you go. Try to keep it short for y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed that. If you like these kind of videos, please subscribe. I got more stuff like this coming up, more builds coming up. Here's a teaser. Where did it go? This is gonna be a long time in the making. I have no idea how long, but for any of you that know anything about gun clones, rifle military version clones, you'll probably know what this is. And that's all I'm gonna say about it, okay? This is gonna take a long time, and it's not gonna be cheap, and so I may end up having to sell some of these guns, I don't know, to finance it, but I think I've got to that point to where I want to go down this road. Maybe, possibly. We'll see what happens. But anyway, hope y'all enjoyed that. Hope it was informative. Like I said, subscribe, tell people about the channel. Let's get some more people on here. I got 20 subscribers. I'm super pumped about that, so I appreciate y'all giving me your ear. So with that, we will close. Y'all be good, you be safe, and we'll see you in the next video.